You know, after the game with the Buccaneers and Carolina Panthers, I was sort of debating to myself whether or not I should make this video because, it feels kind of pedestrian to make a video talking about the Buccaneers win at this point. Especially when we clinch the NFC South and make it into the playoffs. But that describes the Buccaneers game against Carolina today. It was pedestrian. It was just the Buccaneers defense going up against two horrible quarterbacks in Cam Newton and Sam Darnold. And Tom Brady just having one of his pedestrian games with 232 yards and a touchdown to Cameron Brate. The running backs surprisingly did very good this game. Ronald Jones got a touchdown. Keyshawn Vaughn started off with scoring on a 55-yarder against Carolina to put us up 7-3. And really, all Carolina would manage was just field goals against us. Now, of course, we had a pedestrian kicker of our own in Ryan Suckup, who had a pretty good day, making 4 for 4 to give us 12 extra points and give us a 32-6 outcome in the end. On that defensive line, we had 7 sacks on the day, even with Shaquille Barrett going down with minor injury. By the way, shout out to Shaquille Barrett for making the Pro Bowl for the second time in 3 years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Even with Shaquille Barrett going down with an injury, the Buccaneers' defensive line held up pretty good. Even the coverage was pretty good for the most part. Jordan Whitehead leading the charge. He was a monster on the field. Got an interception, got a pass deflection, led on that first sack against Cam Newton early on in the game to set a defensive tone. And really, we just had full control over the whole entire game. Antonio Brown even had his pedestrian 100-yard game with Tom Brady after coming back from his suspension. And props to him. Anytime Mike Evans, Chris Godwin goes down, Antonio Brown's got to step up, and he stepped up. One of the things I was worried about when going into this game with Carolina is how well they're going to do without Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Leonard Fournette, who make up about 57% of our offense and our scoring this season. And sure enough, they got the job done, and we're definitely looking at a 13-4 record now as we go into our final 2 games against the New York Jets, who don't really have the best quarterback situation either, and they just barely won their game against Jacksonville today. And Carolina. We finish up our season with a home game against Carolina 2 weeks later. So, easy 13-4 record. My prediction is Mike Evans and Leonard Fournette are going to come back for the playoffs. Who knows? Maybe we'll see Mike Evans going off on a big game against Carolina in Week 17, but yeah, it's just a really lackluster end of the season for us schedule-wise, and I expect nothing but pedestrian wins for the rest of the season until we get into the playoffs.